Hi, this is Two Moms Talking, where I go around and talk to moms that have become experts on certain things that are of interest to them. Today, we're going to talk about sunblock. We want to go out in the sun and we want to have fun in it, but everything you read is like, oh my gosh, this is, you could get cancer from the sunblocks we use, or you could have hormone disruptions, or God forbid you have an allergy. What do we do? I mean, sometimes I think that we should just go out in the sun and forget about it.
Just take your chances.
Right? Like,
with
I mean,
the
do we get cancer from the sun or cancer from the sunblock, right? It's really complicated.
Yeah.
So today we thought, I'm here with Liz, and she is a registered nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's a mom. And as we find out, moms become the experts because we need the information to help ourselves and help our kids, right? We want all our kids to be healthy and happy. So today we're going to talk about what we found out. Again, we're not experts. We're just two moms talking. So Liz, what should we do? Like, first of all, is the sun really that bad for us?
Yes, the sun is that bad for us.
Not worried about it?
It is. Full stop.
Okay.
Full stop.
Sun is
We know for sure that the sun causes skin cancer.
Right.
Not to mention aging.
And we don't want that.
No.
Aging.
It causes skin cancer.
Right.
We know that melanoma, which is the worst type of skin cancer. So you have basal cell, squamous cell, and melanoma. Melanoma is the worst type of skin cancer. And melanoma is the 5th leading type of cancer in the U.S. Okay,
wow,
so
really?
It's melanoma can be deadly,
huge.
And it's quite prevalent. So yeah, you need sunblock.
Okay.
We absolutely need to protect ourselves from the sun.
Okay, well, what about like getting a base tan? Everyone's like, oh, just get your base tan, right? I mean,
no, there's no evidence that says that getting a base tan is going to be somehow protective.
right.
And any sun.
Anytime you get a sunburn or a tan, your skin is damaged.
Wow.
So the whole
no base tan.
base tan thing
It's not
out the window.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so we know we can't get a base tan. We know we can't get basically any tan, right? So what about vitamin D? There's vitamin D is good for your skin, right? We get the vitamin D from the sun, and that can help us, right?
But you do need vitamin D. And some people think that if you use sunscreen, that you won't be getting the vitamin D that you need. But evidence shows that using sunscreen, you're still going to get the vitamin D you need.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Because if you think about it, you're still going to, it's not like you're slathering every square inch of your skin in
sunblock every single time you go out. And the other
thing too is there's a limit to how much vitamin D you can get from the sun.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's not a bad idea to take a vitamin D supplement.
Okay.
Because so many of us are lacking in vitamin D. So it's good to take a supplement.
Okay. So we don't really need the sun for that necessarily.
No.
So we know we need to protect ourselves from the sun because any suntan is damaging. And we know we need sunblock. But what kind of sunblock? Like, okay, so I went to the store and we got this blue lizard, and this is says, it's the new technology, right? Water resistant and, mineral based. That's what we keep reading, mineral based, mineral based. So okay, but then you have the old sunscreen that, no, this actually says mineral based too. This is one we had from last year. Is that mineral based?
This one is not mineral based.
Okay, and is this one mineral based?
No, this one is not mineral based either. Okay.
So what is the difference? Like, so you have, I'm going to classify them as 2 categories: old sunscreen and new sunscreen. I'm going to call the old sunscreen the non-mineral based. And these are the ones that we've heard, like, oh, you're going to get, it seeps into your skin, you're going to get cancer, you're going to get, you're going to hurt the coral reefs. And also, like, I know people in my family, we get allergies sometimes, so we get rashes.
Right.
So what is the ingredients in these things that are bad for us? And tell us about it. Yeah.
So I wouldn't call them old and new.
Okay.
Not to correct you.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because the new sunscreens, the mineral based. Do you remember when we were kids back in the 80s and 70s when you see the lifeguards? Yeah, I've done that. But the lifeguards used to have that white, that white stripe.
It looked like they were wearing like tape.
That's mineral. That's zinc. Okay. So the way it is now. So you have chemical sunscreens, and you have what they call physical sunscreens or the mineral-based sunscreens.
Okay, so we have chemical and mineral. Got
Yes, yes. So when people, when it comes into the conversation that people are worried, freaked out about sunscreens,
Right.
they're talking about the chemicals.
Okay.
Okay. So the difference between the chemical sunscreens and the physical sunscreens, the mineral sunscreens.
Mineral, right.
So the chemical sunscreens, you put on your skin, and they absorb the sun's rays like a
Okay.
sponge.
So do they absorb into your skin?
They do.
So that's why it says to put it on like 15 minutes before you
Right,
get out.
because it
Okay.
has to, it needs
Absorb
time
it.
to formulate that barrier on
Okay.
your skin.
So is that getting into our bloodstream then?
Well, we'll talk about
Okay.
that in a
Go ahead.
second.
Go ahead.
So the chemical sunscreens they're easier to rub in.
Okay.
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 You're not
Got
going to get that white residue like you can with the mineral sunscreens.
Okay.
And then so the chemical sunscreens, those are ingredients like the oxybenzone.
Oxybenzone.
That's
okay.
that's kind of
Let me see if that's
the
in
big
here.
one that that's some people are having issues
Problems
with.
with.
Okay,
Okay.
so oxybenzone, avobenzone, octinoxate, octocrylene, octisalate,
Octocrylene.
and
okay.
homosalate.
Okay, so basically anything octo sounds bad. and
Octo,
homosalate.
oxy, anything that has the own or ate ending on it.
Own, right.
Those are going to be the chemical sunscreens.
They're the bad ones. Well, I shouldn't say bad. They seep into your skin. Okay.
We'll talk about.
All right, I'm jumping the gun.
Let's not label them as bad.
Okay.
Okay. And then on the other side, you have the physical sunscreens. The
Okay.
mineral sunscreens are.
And
what are there other buzzwords for that? So that's the titanium dioxide and the zinc.
Okay, so
those are going to sit on your skin. Those do not get absorbed.
Okay.
Okay. They sit on your skin and they act like a shield against the sun's rays.
Okay.
Okay.
So they don't get absorbed in. They just sit there and it's like putting clothes on or something.
They don't get absorbed. You will see, there was some concern with the titanium and the zinc because the way they're formulating them now, they don't always make that whitish tinge on your skin.
Right.
They're easier to rub in because of what's referred to as nanoparticles. So the particles are very, very, very tiny.
Right.
And there was some concern that those particles could be absorbed in your skin.
Right.
But they know that they are not.
They're not. Okay.
Yes.
And so that also then means when I put it on my face, I'm not going to be walking around with like a blue face or a white face or whatever color.
Depending on what formulation you use. Okay. Some, and we can talk about some formulations that it's going to be trial and error. Yeah, but we can talk about that. But if you're using a mineral sunscreen, with the titanium and the zinc, you might get the white. You have to really rub it in, but you might get the white. Okay, so based on your preference, it might take some trial and error. And if people want to go, if people want to go offline. I have suggestions
about that.
We can talk about it.
Okay, I don't want a white face. Or a blue face.
Right. Or, there's one that I've used that has kind of a lavender tint and you have to really rub it in.
Oh, gosh. Because you could look purple. So I went to that's not one. I went to the dermatologist and was asking, and they gave me these two. They gave me this one, and I haven't looked. I don't know if these are mineral-based or
it's backwards.
Based.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Maybe up here.
Shield.
Solbar Shield and this
CeraVe.
Yeah, CeraVe. So this is what the dermatologist recommended.
Okay. So this one, the Solbar Shield, has zinc and titanium.
Okay.
So it's a mineral-based.
So that's mineral-based. Now, does that also, are you going to run into sunscreens that have the mineral-based but also have some of the bad chemicals?
It's possible.
Sorry, I called it bad chemicals.
No, it's bad in quotation marks. It's possible. You have to read your labels.
Okay.
You have to read your labels.
Okay.
But typically, from what I've seen, it's usually going to be one or the other.
Okay. So then
you have to read your labels.
Is also looks like it's
okay. That's titanium and zinc. I can see the label.
Okay. So here's the label. On the back.
So that's a mineral base.
So so both of these are mineral based that the dermatologist is
Yes.
recommending. Okay, good.
Yes.
So there are two, but I've heard they're expensive. I haven't gone to look for them myself. Okay, so so now we know there's mineral based and there's chemical based.
Mm-hmm.
Chemical based seeps into your skin, and mineral based stays on.
Mm-hmm.
And the octos and the tanes are the chemical based, which and then the mineral based ones are titanium oxide and
Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So we've got that down. Okay, so tell us now, what is so bad about, or what is the concern? I keep saying bad, sorry. What is the concern about the chemical-based ones?
So,
and is it really a concern?
Okay, so the it's the oxybenzone that people are zoning in on, okay? And for a few different reasons. So,
and that's in this one.
So the concern with the oxybenzone is, could it be a hormone disruptor? Okay. And this all stems from, excuse me, my stuff is blowing around. This all stems from a study from, I don't know, 2003. Don't hold me to the date.
Okay.
What they did is they fed rats huge amounts of the oxybenzone.
Rats.
Right. Rats. 1,500 milligrams per day.
They fed it to them. So
they fed it to them. Yes, they fed it to them.
They're eating it.
And 1,500 milligrams or more, depending on their weight, over 4 days. I think it was 4 days.
Okay.
So but what they did is they fed 1,500 milligrams.
So how much
over,
is that? Is that
so
more
they
than what we
found,
put on?
and so I'll get to that in a second. So they found that once these rats ate all this oxybenzone, they had changes in their uterine weight. Okay, so what's going to make a woman's uterus change? Hormonal changes, menopause, endometriosis, pregnancy. It's hormonal stuff. So that's where the whole endocrine disruptor thing comes from. You know, the female hormones.
Right.
But so if this were duplicated in real life with humans, a human would have to put sunscreen all over his or her body every single day for 70 years to get the same results.
Right. Okay.
So, that's a whole other conversation. This is this is kind of a sore spot with me. With research that's out there. And there's good studies and bad studies.
So
and not that this thing with the rats, right. Not that this thing with the rats is a bad study, but it's not a real life kind of situation.
So we find out from it that maybe there is some concern.
There could be.
But it's so extreme situation that maybe we wouldn't, as humans, encounter that. But still on the same side, if you're thinking,
And,
we don't want to do anything that's damaging, even if it's just a little bit.
And we also know that oxybenzone is absorbed into the body to some degree, and they found it in urine and breast milk.
Wow.
So that's the other thing. People are like, oh my God, it's going into my body. But it's also not accumulated. It doesn't accumulate in the body. So your body's getting rid of it in the urine. So it doesn't accumulate. But
so should pregnant women pump and dump then too? I mean,
and that's I would tell a pregnant woman or a breastfeeding woman out of an abundance of caution, to just avoid the oxybenzone. Just stick with the mineral-based sunscreens. That's what I would tell a pregnant woman.
So it's the oxybenzone that's the one that's
the oxybenzone is the big one. What else? Yeah.
What about the cancer? What about cancer? Is that
there's no evidence, and I think with the cancer. Hang on, I'm looking at my notes.
No, that's good. I mean, see, moms look at notes. They get the information that they need, and they look at, they find the research that's out there. They don't just hear things.
There's. So I think what they're, when we're talking about the sunscreens causing cancer, there was concern that sunscreen containing vitamin A or retinol palmitate can cause skin cancer, but there's no data anywhere out there to support that.
None. So we have no data at all.
No, and they say that people, and by the way, I've gotten all my research from the American Academy of Dermatology, the Skin Cancer Foundation, something else that I use at work at my nurse practitioner job called Up to Date. Okay, so I'm not looking at blogs and I'm looking at science.
It's not just that funny stuff you found on Facebook and you don't know if it's real or not.
Right. So
got it. Real research.
So,
okay.
And
we'll
people,
put a link to the research, or we'll put the information about the research in the description below. So.
Yes. Okay. Back to the oxybenzone.
Right.
They know that oxybenzone can cause bleaching of the coral in the reefs.
And we don't want that.
No.
Okay.
So Hawaii has rules.
Banned it, right?
They banned the, I believe, don't hold me to it, but I think they banned just the oxybenzone.
Yeah, okay. So the oxybenzone is the one that's bad
and
for
they
the coral
banned
reef.
sprays. I think sprays are bad for the coral reefs. I'm not sure if that goes for the titanium and the zinc. But and I think I read somewhere that they're doing that.
And this one has oxybenzone in it. This one.
Yeah.
See, oxybenzone. So that's the bad one for the coral reefs.
And I think they've done that in Key West too.
Okay.
So, again, look at your labels. A lot of times it'll say reef safe on it. Look for if it says reef safe. Reef safe.
Okay.
Then it's okay.
Okay. So especially if you're in those areas or swimming in natural waters that you should be
right. So,
so even if you're not worried about it for yourself, and this study where it's just not
the coral reef,
right? The coral reef, you still want to avoid oxybenzone. Oxybenzone.
Yes.
Okay. What about allergies? We forgot to talk about the allergies yet. So we were just looking at blue lizard, and everyone thinks like blue lizard is the safe one, but this has
octocrylene.
Octocrylene. I don't know if you can see that there. Octocrylene in it, and it also has zinc oxide, so it has the chemical and the mineral base. So again, it's got the both. So what happens with the allergies? Is there an ingredient that's like more susceptible to allergies than others?
Oxybenzone. Ding, ding, ding.
That's the same one.
It's the oxybenzone that's usually going to be the problem as far as allergies go. Oxybenzone, and oftentimes it'll be the additives, other additives that we're so far down on the label
that you don't know about.
So, people are going to react to different ingredients in different ways. So typically the mineral-based sunscreens are going to be less allergenic in nature. Okay. So if you have a problem with allergies, especially where your skin is concerned, I would go with the mineral-based. Think of the babies, that thick white diaper rash ointment used for babies, that's zinc. It's soothing for your skin.
Okay.
So if you have trouble...
zinc oxide. So I'm looking at this one now, and this is
That's just straight up zinc.
But that says active ingredient. But see, that's the other tricky thing, because down here, there's a ton of inactive.
And you don't know what it could be. So
I don't know if you can see that, but there's a ton of inactive, and they only like zinc oxide up here. So they're getting tricky with how they're labeling this. So this doesn't make me feel comfortable, because I don't know what any of these are.
Right.
And I guess if they're the main ones that we're talking about today, they're going to be in the active ingredients, because all the ones the chemical
correct. The inactive ingredients, it's going to be stabilizers and things to make it so it doesn't clump together and separate and that sort of thing.
So see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a ton of inactive ingredients in here that she's talking about. So we could be allergic to any one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as far as the sunscreen ingredients, it's the oxybenzone. So I guess what the key is to look for one that definitely doesn't have oxybenzone, because that's the one that we're hearing is bad for coral.
That typically is going to be one of the main offenders as far as allergies go. Okay. So if you have trouble with allergies, look for a mineral base. But again, you don't know if one of the inactive ingredients could be setting you off. So
and they all have them.
So it might, unfortunately, it might be just it's just some trial and error for you if you have trouble with allergies.
Okay, so trial and error with allergies.
But go for
one without oxybenzone.
Right.
Oxybenzone's the bad.
I would stick with something that's just the zinc and titanium.
Zinc and titanium. So if you can
this
find
one has only zinc, but
it has all those inactive ingredients. So maybe this is okay for allergies.
Yeah, I would try it.
Yeah, try it.
If I had trouble.
Okay.
But sometimes it's just, unfortunately, you just gotta
go with it.
See what works.
Yeah. Okay.
Titanium dioxide and the zinc are what they call GRASE, generally recognized as safe and effective. Okay. But they can't say
the mineral-based ones.
Right. But they can't say that about the chemical sunscreen. So they're calling for more good research. So we have data to be able to say for sure, because there have been those studies previously that say there could be a link, you know,
Okay.
like getting back to the rats. And there was another
Was there any
study
done on humans on like over time that you're aware of?
Well, they know that they're, yeah, because they know that, you know, we
Humans
excrete it in the urine and breast milk. So there
right.
have been studies.
Okay.
And there was actually recently a study, in a trial enrolling 24 healthy volunteers randomly assigned to maximal usage of one of 4 organic sunscreens. And organic, when we're talking about sunscreens, means the chemical sunscreens, okay? So you got to make that paradigm shift because we're so used to...
Right, organic, you think. But you know what?
Yeah.
You're right, because organic could be, I mean...
Right.
Anything that's grown naturally is organic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, arsenic could be organic, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
So
but so
organic
for
doesn't
this
always
purpose,
mean
when
good.
we say
Right.
organic,
that's chemical.
and that's right, and because they contain carbon.
Oh.
That's why so when you're talking about chemistry, science,
right.
organic means it has carbon.
Okay.
Inorganic means it doesn't have carbon. So
yeah,
I'm just
think about that.
just kind of came out as I'm reading this.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 active ingredients evaluated: the avobenzone, oxybenzone, octocrylene, and encapsule were present at plasma concentrations high enough to warrant further safety studies.
Okay.
However, the trial was small, and the doses were higher than routinely used.
Right.
Okay. While awaiting further data, we continue to advise patients to use sunscreen. Okay. So nobody is saying don't use
right.
the
because it's
chemical
still
sunscreens.
better than the sun's
It's
damage.
still better than getting cancer.
Okay. Which we know the sun does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There are enough options out there.
Yeah. And we have some right here. So zinc oxide and titanium dioxide is what we want to look for.
Right.
So zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. I'll put that up there so you can see.
I would tell you you don't want something with a spray.
Okay, spray, right?
I would avoid
that, right?
I would avoid that because getting back to the nanoparticles, if you're using a spray that is using nanoparticles, there is a risk of inhaling the nanoparticles of the zinc and titanium, and that causing damage to your free oxidative stress in your body, damage to your free radicals.
Okay, that doesn't sound good. And free radicals, we know that's bad.
We know free radicals are bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be the whole cancer link.
Okay, so you want the lotion.
Yeah.
Okay. Or cream or whatever.
Right. And then
do we know that these work as well as...
Yes, they do.
Okay,
they do.
They work as well.
They work as well. Yeah.
And do you have to put these on 15 minutes before?
Yes.
Okay. So you still have to put them on 15 minutes before.
Yes.
Okay.
And you still need to reapply every 2 hours. And make sure you're using a sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30.
At least 30.
And you need to be using at least a shot glass worth.
Shot glass?
Think of how big a shot glass is. That's how much you need to use.
For your whole body or just on parts?
So dermatologists will talk about the teaspoon rule. So
what's
you'll
the
use a teaspoon on your face and neck.
Okay.
And then 1 teaspoon on each arm. So there's 3 teaspoons there.
Okay.
So there's 6 teaspoons in
6 teaspoons
in a shot.
Okay, so 6 teaspoons in a shot.
Right.
Okay, so a teaspoon on each arm, teaspoon on face and neck,
Right.
2 teaspoons on the body.
1 teaspoon on your
front.
Yep.
And 1 teaspoon on the back.
Yep.
Okay.
And then 2 teaspoons on each leg, which I think is actually 8. But
okay.
Use a lot. You need to use a shot glass's
7,
worth.
8.
Is it 8?
9.
Okay.
And I think it's 9. Right?
6.
Yeah, a shot glass is a lot. So, like, when you're looking at a bottle of sunscreen, how much does a shot glass take up? I mean, is this going to be like...
You'll be buying a lot of sunscreen.
Yeah, that's like 2 applications, it seems like, right?
And make sure you're using broad spectrum.
Broad spectrum. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one says broad spectrum.
Pretty much everything out there is broad spectrum.
Does this one say broad spectrum? So what about these? This says PABA.
Oh, PABA.
And parabens and...
Yeah, so...
But this one says no oxybenzone, so it's out there. Oxybenzone is the bad one, right?
PABA, you're not going to... PABA is another one of those ingredients, but you're not going to find it in sunscreens in the U.S. anyway.
Oh, okay. So they're just kind of making themselves sound better, unless they sell
right. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah,
it's a marketing thing. That's a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
is a marketing
and interesting because this says 100% natural, right? Natural botanicals. But I see it does have zinc oxide, but then it has a list of all these other ingredients.
You know, the whole this is a hot button issue for me, and that's a whole other show. But you know, as long as the way the labeling regulations are set up, if something has even a teeny percentage of something that's natural, they can market it as natural.
I'm just seeing how this rubs in. I don't know if you can see that, but I was afraid, you know, you don't want to look like the white clown or the blue-faced, you know, whatever. But, I mean, this is the main ingredient. The main active ingredient in this is the zinc oxide, which does sit on your skin, and it seems to have rubbed in.
Yeah, it's the nanoparticles. I don't really
see it there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't really seem like I see it there too much. So it looks pretty good. But it was kind of watery. I mean, I don't know if you can see. It's kind of like very liquidy. I wouldn't expect that. I was expecting it to be a lot thicker.
Yeah, well, the way they formulate it now, it goes on a lot easier than it once did.
I mean, that goes pretty smooth. So if you're trying to wrestle with your kids to get that on.
That's good, yeah. That's good.
It does take a little rubbing to get it in.
More so than the chemical.
Yeah, a little bit more. But not bad. I mean, and it did get in pretty close. So I noticed this one. Okay, so this one has the, you know, you really can't trust the labeling, unfortunately, because this one says #1 pediatric recommended brand. And then I noticed on this one also says #1 pediatric recommended brand. So, #1 pediatric recommended. So and this one says mineral-based sunscreen. And you say, well, Caputone's not mineral-based, but it is. It says mineral-based right there. So, you know, you really can't trust your marketing anymore.
Right, and also just know that you can't. They don't recommend that you put sunscreen on babies under 6 months.
Okay, why is that?
Probably because they haven't done studies on it to say that it's safe. But babies do have skin that's much thinner.
Oh, so it absorbs more.
Yeah.
So maybe it is closer to that.
You know, a lot of times when they say that, it's just because they haven't done the studies.
Right.
Because when my guys were babies, my pediatrician said, you know, if you're out and they're, you know, if like their fingers or toes are exposed, and you know, you can put a little bit on.
Put a little bit on.
Yeah, but.
And here's my takeaways: oxybenzone, stay away from that, because that's going to hurt the coral reefs. That's going to give you allergies. That's going to give you those hormone disruptors.
Possibly. Okay, this says water resistant to 80 minutes, and the sun's rays are strongest from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So midday sun, get out.
Yeah, so if you can avoid the sun, wear hats.
And they just got a tent. That's really good.
Yeah, that's good. I love it.
And I got long sleeve swimwear. It's like swimwear.
Does it have UPF in it?
Yeah, UPF. And it
so that kind of stuff too. So there are, you know,
so clothes, tents, hats, sunscreen, tents, umbrellas.
There are a lot of options out there for staying out of the sun and protecting yourself.
Hail is the new cool.
It is. But you know what? I use a spray tan.
You can always do that. And then to try to find zinc oxide and titanium for your lockers. And they're the safer. They seem to be, at this point anyway, before they've done any more research, that seems to be the safest one for now. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Liz. This has been really, really helpful. I have learned a lot. I hope you guys have too. If you hear something that doesn't seem quite right to you, again, we're not experts. We're just two moms talking. Put it in the comments below and let us know. And we'll also try to take some of the research she's done and put that in the description below too, so you have that for your information. But have fun in the sun, but don't forget to cover up and block up. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Bye,
guys.
Nice
summer.
Give us a thumbs up.
Thanks for stopping in.
Okay. And don't forget to hit that subscription button and the bell so you get notices when we do another video. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.